Today I am going to be showing graduates of CS50 from Harvard how to algorithmic trade using AI and all of the tools that I personally use in order to build out trading systems that trade these markets automatically without emotions, without you having to stare at the charts. Now, if you've ever traded before, you know that it is a very emotional game. You want to buy when the price is going up. You want to sell when the price is going down. We automate everything else in this world. We have cars driving us, but a lot of people still do not automate their trading. So if you are advanced enough to go through CS50 and you understand everything when it comes to, the introduction of coding, then you are going to be a perfect fit here. Especially if
naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft.
If you're one of those that will just continue to get better and better and keep working on your craft, like Will Smith just said, this is one of the most fascinating industries in the world. This is Jim Simons here. He used machine learning, which is AI, in order to run up a net worth of $31 billion. All with automated trading, the exact stuff I will be showing you here today. You can see I have an AI agent down here in the bottom next to the timer that is backtesting trading strategies for me. I will explain all of these systems and everything we're going to build here to you, but one of the most important things in the system that I follow to automate my trading, and the same thing that Jim Simons did, is called backtesting. Backtesting is the process of seeing if a strategy worked in the past. If it worked in the past, it's much more likely to work in the future, but it's not guaranteed. This is the system I will be showing here today, and I will be showing every single line of code. You can see I have every single liquidation coming in on the market. I have every single order. I can see when people are going to get liquidated. So as I said, this is going to be a little advanced, so make sure that you take CS50 first. But I can see everybody's positions in the market, when they get liquidated, when they entered, how far they are away from liquidation, and so on. These are things that most people will never ever show you. So I am holding it out for your class here today. Let's go ahead and build out this README here. All of this code will be on the GitHub right here. Just type in Harvard algorithmic trading with AI. I'm going to show you all of the AI that I use, how I use it. And sorry to burst your bubble, but you are not going to be predicting price with AI, not today. If everybody predicts the weather, it's going to be 75 degrees tomorrow. Well, it can be 75 degrees tomorrow. But if everybody predicts Bitcoin price is going to be $85,000 tomorrow, that price will be traded on. It will change. Again, you can predict some things with machine learning, of course. I'm going to show you how to actually use AI. We're going to use agents here in the bottom left. You can see it's backtesting. We're going to use Cursor. If you want to Google that, you can use Cursor or Windsurf. Cursor is where you write the code. It's called an IDE, and you know that already. You've been through CS50. Okay, so if you haven't, type in CS50 here into YouTube and go watch that prerequisite course, please. Cursor is where you code to help you code faster. Matter of fact, I'll show you right away. We'll create a README right now using Cursor. This is the first way we're using AI here. Okay, please go ahead and build me a README here, and that README will explain the following. This is an open source project teaching Harvard students how to become algorithmic traders. I will be explaining the step-by-step system I follow in order to automate my trading strategies. I believe that humans have too much emotion. They have too many things going on in the day, and they all got into trading to get their time back. The unfortunate truth is most traders are unprofitable and they stare at the screen all day long, wasting all of their time and making no money. My hypothesis, along with Jim Simons, who ran up a $30 billion net worth, is the only way to trade is with robots. So I will be explaining my RBI system. I will be showing all of the code, all of the resources, all of the places I use AI. I'll be showing everything in this RBI system. The RBI system starts with R, which is research. Research is the most important thing in algorithmic trading. You have to research trading strategies. Those strategies you will later backtest to see if they actually work in the past. Backtesting is the process of looking at open, high, low, close volume data, essentially past data, to see if the strategy that you thought of, you researched, you read about, works in the past. So the process of algorithmic trading is actually free for the R and the B. I will be sharing stories about how I ran to the bot immediately and I lost a bunch of money because I didn't research, I didn't backtest. I implemented a strategy that did not work. I'll be explaining all of that, and this system, the RBI system, is going to keep you away from ever building a bot until you know it at least works in the past. If it works in the past, it's not guaranteed. This system has helped thousands of people just like yourself automate their trading. And it's free on moondev.com, the whole roadmap and everything. All of this will be in the GitHub. Please build the README with that information. Okay, so as you saw there, I use another set of AI. So I'm passing this prompt into AI, Claude 3.7 Sonnet. That is one of the most advanced right now. It's all debatable, of course. Now, I used a voice control there in order to pass it into AI to Cursor, which is my IDE. But this Flow Pro is what I used. Now, I have no connections with them. I just use it because you can see it allows me to hit this little FN button, and it took my words per minute to 162 words per minute. And it does things like correct like ums and ahs. It's using AI in order to listen to my voice and then write out full sentences. So now I can pass it on to Claude 3.7, and she will go ahead and build a README. Remember, all of this code is going to be on the GitHub. So I will make sure it's all up here, and I'll push it frequently anytime I... All right, so anything else you'd like me to add? Let's go ahead and look through the README here. I'll close that out for now. Let's actually just go ahead and add it to the GitHub, because then it'll look nice. Git add dot git commit slash readme and git push. Okay, there we go. So it's on the GitHub now. Let's go ahead and read through it. This is the initial commit. Where is it? Hello? Git push, I thought. There it is. Okay, so Harvard Algorithmic Trading with AI, the RBI system, research, backtest, and implement. Welcome to the Harvard Algorithmic Trading with AI repository. This open source project teaches students how to become algorithmic traders by following a systematic approach to automating trading strategies. Why algorithmic trading? Most traders face two challenges: emotional decision making leading to poor trades, time waste, staring at screens all day with little to no by Jim Simons, who built a $30 billion net worth. The only way to trade effectively is with robots. The RBI system explained. Research. Research is the foundation of algorithmic trading. Before writing a single line of code, you must study proven trading strategies, understand market behaviors, analyze what works for different market conditions, build a solid hypothesis, then backtest. Backtesting validates your strategy against historical data. Test your strategy against open, high, low, close volume data. Evaluate performance metrics, refine parameters, avoid survivorship bias. Then implement. Only after successful research and backtesting, you code your strategy. Set up proper risk management. Deploy with careful monitoring. Scale gradually. What this repository contains: step-by-step guides for each stage of the RBI system, code examples and templates, resources for data collection, AI integration, learning from mistakes. I'll share personal stories of rushing to implementation without proper research and backtesting, resulting in significant losses. These cautionary tales will emphasize why the RBI system exists and how to avoid common pitfalls. Okay, so let's go ahead and add some resources here to this, because this is going to be very, very important for you. So let me go ahead and get all of the resources I can think of at the start. Add these resources to the README at the bottom. Cursor, it's my
Imagine you
IDE,
had everything you wanted.
AI IDE.
Everything. Imagine you were everything you ever wanted to be, and capture that feeling. That's the easiest way to manifest what you want.
So Flow Pro, Cursor and IDE, AI IDE, Flow Pro, my voice to text AI I use. It's not mine, but it's the one I use. Now, the important thing about Flow Pro, and I had to do this when I started to learn how to code, was I had to learn how to type first, because I was pecking. And in order to really code fast and get things done, you have to learn how to type. So if you don't know how to type, I would say that's the first thing to learn. But nowadays we have Flow Pro. So once I learned how to type, I got up to 62 words per minute. Once I started using this Flow Pro AI, I got to 162 words per minute. Now, this guy, you'll hear him multiple times throughout today. He says you need to make your systems better and better and better, because that's what everybody else is going to do. My first system I needed to make better was I was typing like at 20 words per minute. So I learned to type. I used one of these typing tests, typing speed racers. That was the first system I had to make better. That's the first system I had to make better, dude. So make your systems better and better, whatever it is. If it's your life system, hold on. Let me tell you one thing real quick. It's all about your systems. You know that. Jim says it all the time. But what I just hit on right there is very important, dude. Your life systems as well. How much sleep are you getting? 8 hours, I hope. Okay. Did you get a workout in today? Please make sure to work out every single day. If you need to meditate, please do that, because that will get you very clear on what you want. If you are clear on what you want, you will get it. You get what you think about. You get what you think about. So please take 20, 40, 60 minutes a day to close your eyes and dream about what you want. This guy is no different than me. He's no different than you. I'm no different than you. You're no different than me. I have different thoughts than you maybe. I know I can do anything, and I know you can too. So make sure your personal algorithm is tight. Make sure that you know you can have anything in this world. And then once you know that, okay, now you can start coding. Okay, here are a couple resources I want to add. Cursor, the ID, AI IDE, where I code. What else do I have here on my screen? Well, I have Cursor, the AI IDE. The Flow Pro is important for the voice to text that I use. Okay. Anything else on this screen that I want to use? CS50 is a prerequisite to this, dude. Prerequisite here. Let's go ahead here and say CS50. This is a prereq to this class. Make sure to watch it, dude. Make sure to watch it. What else is there that I need to show you? Nothing else. I need to keep pushing forward. Okay, while that does that, I'm going to say research. And then I'm going to say backtest. No, not there, dude. Backtest. And then I'm going to say let's call this backtest. Keep it consistent here. I don't think this is the right thing they put there, but that's okay. We'll fix it. And then we're going to put implement. We're going to make this all around one simple system. This simple system is the system that will allow you to find unlimited trading strategies that actually work in the past. If they work in the past, they're not guaranteed to work in the future. But let me tell you this right now, dude. If I tell the whole class right now, hey, class, there's $1 million. It's behind the Luxor building, which is just down the path. Okay, it's behind that building. There's $1 million, and there's the whole class just heard that, right? And the people on YouTube, they heard it as well. Okay, great. There's $1 million behind that building. How long will that $1 million be there? Not very long. Everybody's gonna get up right now and go get it, right? Okay, let me give you another example. They got $500 gift cards here. They got $500 gift cards here in the cafeteria, but there's only 50 of them. And I'm telling 1,000 people right now. How long are those gift cards going to be there? You got it, dude. You got it. Nobody's ever going to give you a profitable trading strategy. Nobody's ever going to give you a bot that you can just run. Because if someone did, everybody would go get it. And if everybody goes and gets it, they'll be gone. That's what's important about this RBI system, is you have to build your own edge. What is an edge? An edge is a strategy or an approach, an alpha generation technique that you have that not many other people know about. And that's something that you can trade. You can have your bots trade that edge. It's your little secret. I've got my edge. Everybody that has gone through this RBI system that are in the boot camp, and you can read below here, they have their edges. Nobody shares their edge. But one of my biggest edges is this system. And I'm okay with sharing this edge because I believe code is the great equalizer. And let me tell you this. I spent 10, 15 years in technology, building apps, websites, SaaS, whatever. And this whole time, I thought I wasn't going to be able to, I can't code these by myself. I need to hire someone off Upwork. So I just hired people off Upwork. I tried to learn how to code a couple times, but it never stuck. Sometimes you just have to find the right thing. And for me, I had a problem. I was trading too big of size, trading my life savings by hand emotionally. Price going up, you want to buy. Price going down, you want to sell. Up and down and up, and staring at these charts all day. We got into trading so we could have our time back, right? Yes, of course. I was sick of staring at these screens for weeks on end just to lose. I met someone who was trading $1 billion per day, and that someone looked just like me. He was a homie. Not really a homie because I just met him, but you know what I'm saying. Someone just like me and you. So I was like, okay, if he can do it, I can do this too. I can automate my trading. He figured out how to do it. Why can't I figure it out? So I set out on that path just to discover that this is the most secretive industry in the world and nobody is sharing anything. So I decided, hey, I'm just going to explore all of this and share it all on my YouTube. My name is Moondev. I believe code is a great equalizer. I believe if you learn how to code, you can build anything for the rest of your life. So you can see here, I have over 1,700 hours of step-by-step tutorials that show you exactly how to automate your trading. But today I'm going to give you the whole enchilada here in this short video. So let's go ahead here. And first off, cursor. No, it's not cursor. This is called Flow Pro. Voice. Flow Pro voice. Whisper Flow. Okay. Whisper Flow. Here it is. It's called Whisper Flow. So let's go here. And I'll put that on the resources because everything that I use, I'm going to give to you. This changed my life. Like I said, I worked so hard to get up to a 60 words per minute, and then they just dropped this down here on me, and I got to 162. So now you have it too, dude. Everything I have, you have. I believe code's a great equalizer. Okay. So what's next? Well, let's go back to my system here. This is a system that I follow each and every day. The process of automating your trading starts with research, research, research. Where do you find strategies or ideas? Okay, I'll show you exactly how. Let me go ahead here and get up inside this cursor here and say research. Let's make a readme here. A research for readme. Okay. A readme research. Let's go ahead and just have the AI make it. I just built a new readme here for the research folder, and you can see it here. So read me in the research folder. Please go ahead and build it out and add these step-by-step ideas and resources for research it. Now the RBI system explains that we must research for trading strategies and alpha generation techniques. Below are some places you can find trading strategies and alpha generation techniques.
I'm not negotiating with myself.
Yeah.
The deal was already made. The deal was made. When I set out at the beginning of the summer and said, this is the training plan I'm doing, I signed that contract with myself. I'm doing it. You know, throughout that process, you'll start talking to yourself like, man, I think I need to, maybe if we, nope. No, this is non-negotiable.
Yeah.
So Google Scholar has really great papers written by PhDs about trading strategies, trading ideas. Is anything going to be step by step? Maybe, maybe not. Probably not. Remember, you have to keep your alpha close to your chest. So profitable momentum, trading strategies, applying deep learning. It depends on how you want to trade these markets, what your risk profile is looking like, etc., etc. But Google Scholar has unlimited ideas. Well, how do you get ideas in order to get into Google Scholar, to start typing into Google Scholar? Please give me 20 different approaches to trading that I can research with the hopes of automating. So there you go. Now this is a base way to get ideas, okay? There you go. There you go, dude. There you go. ChatGPT can give you broad ideas that you can then go research on Google Scholar and other places below. Podcasts like Chat with Traders has 300 plus trading styles, traders, styles you can learn from. Okay. Books. There are a bunch of trading books I will list below. YouTube has unlimited ideas. Search some of the terms from above. Okay. So ChatGPT just gave me a ton of ideas here. Look at this, dude. You can look into trend following. You can look into mean reversions, stat arb, momentum strategies, breakout, breakdowns, machine learning, deep learning, time series, reinforcement learning, sentiment driven trading. We have unlimited resources here in order to come up with any trading idea, any strategy that you want to explore. You can. Remember, after you find that strategy, you simply go ahead and you backtest to see if it worked in the past. I have a bunch of code here I will get to in a second, and I'll show you everything. But first, I want to give you a few books here that you can potentially read and come up with a ton of ideas. Now, if you don't like reading, use Audible. But at the end of the day, these books have unlimited ideas in them. Here is a book list. Market Wizards, there's 3 or 4 of those books. The Man Who Solved the Market, to learn about Jim Simons. Dark Pools. Flash Boys. The Quants. The Complete Turtle Trader. How to Trade in Stocks. A Random Walk Down Wall Street. Fooled by Randomness. Best Loser Wins. One Up on Wall Street. The Black Swan. What I Learned Losing $1 Million. Option Volatility and Pricing. Trading in the Zone. Systematic Trading. Trading Systems and Methods. Advances in Financial Machine Learning. The Leveraged Space Trading Model. The Mathematics of Money Management. Rocket Science for Traders. Cybernetic Analysis for Stocks and Futures. Psychoanalytics for Traders. Statistical Sound Indicators for Financial Market Prediction. The Universal Tactics of Successful Trend Trading. Stocks on the Move. Cybernetic Trading Strategies. Testing and Tuning Market Trading Systems. Permutation and Randomization Tests of Trading System Development. Detecting Regime Change in Computational Finance. Remember, it comes down to your style of trading that you want to build. The RBI system will help you find ideas that actually work in the past. Now, just because they worked in the past does not mean they're going to work in the future. So that's the tricky part. But above, you have a ton of books and podcasts that you can read or listen to come up with unlimited ideas, and just keep the research flowing. Every single day, as an algorithmic trader, you should be doing one of the 3 things: researching, backtesting, or implementing code into trading bots. This is the RBI system, and this is the master resource for the R, which is research. All right, so let's go ahead and have it build out a README here for that one. Okay, there we go. Look at that. And then let's go ahead here and push it to GitHub. Please push that to GitHub for me. So you can see the AI. I'm using the agent mode here in Cursor, and you can see that it is essentially able to push the GitHub for me as well. So AI is speeding the process up, and Jim Simons constantly says it. You have to make your systems better and better and better. One of my systems is my personal system. How do I live my life? How do I make sure that I'm always in a good mood pushing forward? Well, I eat well, I sleep 8 hours, I meditate, and I work out. That's my personal system. Okay, this is my algorithmic trading system, RBI. How do I make this better? Well, first learn to type. Get your typing speed up to 60. And then, okay, learn some tools like the Flow Pro stuff that I was showing you with the voice detect, get to 162, then spend my time researching, okay, how can I research faster? Well, I have this AI model using DeepSeek here, doing some research for me right now. Okay, perfect. Let's use AI wherever we can. And then we're going to go ahead and backtest. Well, I got a bunch of different trading strategies and ideas here that now we can see exactly how to come up with ideas. So let's go ahead here and see if the README is now there. Let's go ahead and say research. Okay. Why research matters. Research is the critical first step in the RBI, research, backtest, and implement system. Without proper research, you're essentially gambling rather than trading. As an algorithmic trader, you should be doing one of the three things every day: researching, backtesting, or implementing code into trading bots. Sources for trading strategies and alpha generation techniques. Google Scholar here, search for peer-reviewed papers, university repositories. Many universities publish finance and trading research, financial journals, Journal of Finance, Review of Finance. I don't know what these are, but ChatGPT, AI and machine learning, research papers with code, Trader Insight, Chat with Traders, podcasts featuring 300 plus professional traders sharing their methods, Market Wizards series, interviews with top traders. Must read that. Recordings often available online for trading conferences, online platforms, YouTube, trading forums, finance blogs. Trading Psychology and Philosophy are these books here. Market Structure and History, Essential Trading books here. Flash Boys, Dark Pools, The Quants, The Man Who Solved the Market, One Up on Wall Street, Trading Systems and Methods, Systematic Trading by Robert Carver. Damn, this is a good list, dude. So you got everything here, and we're building out this Harvard algorithmic trading with AI, but make sure that you watch CS50 first, because we're going to fly through this, dude. Okay, so we got the research set up. Now, how do we backtest? Well, let me go ahead and give you a backtesting template to start.
Exists in all of us. It's very simple. This is what I believe, and I'm willing to die for it. Yeah. Period.
So inside of this roadmap, again, this is free on moondev.com. I have the RBI system here. If we look at the backtesting section, there's actually a backtest here, because this is a part that got me tripped up for a long time. For a long time. So let's go ahead and put that template in there. And now you have access to it. You can see it's using different things. Let's go ahead and build another README here, readme.md. I'm building a readme.md for this backtesting folder here, and I want you to put these following resources here. Again, the RBI system is research, backtest, and then implement. So backtesting is the process of looking at open, high, low, close volume data in order to see if a strategy actually worked in the past. If it works in the past, it's much more likely to work in the future. It's not guaranteed, though. Please put these resources below in order to make a good readme of this section. So first off, template.py. This is a template backtest that you can use to test out any idea, especially with AI. You can tell it to look at it and then build in the idea that you researched previously in the earlier section in the research folder. Okay. 3 different backtesting libraries: Backtrader, backtesting.py, and Zipline. What was the other one actually? These are my 2 that I'm using the most: Backtrader and backtesting.py. I'll think of the other one later, but I don't even use it that much. So I personally like backtesting.py the best, and that's what the template is showing. Data. Getting data is one of the most important parts, because without data, you can't backtest. So I will put a few different files that allow you to get data here in this folder. Let's see if I have those files, dude. Okay, here we go. So Yahoo, let's just get some Yahoo daily data. Template data.py. Okay, let's just put this Yahoo data in here, and you can see we can get it for Apple. Google, Amazon, all these different things here. And it's probably the easiest way to get data. So let's just get it for Apple and Google for now. Let's say data.py. So here, data.py is a way to get data from Yahoo data. Okay, perfect. Template.py, 3 different backtesting libraries, and then data.py. Okay, so let's make that README here, dude. And while we do that, let's go over this data folder here, or this data file, so you can see how to import this. You'll need Y-Finance. You'll need pandas. Let's go to the README here. This README, let's say accept here. Okay, you can see here, overview, backtesting is a crucial part, template, backtrader, zipline, backtesting.py, data.py, perfect. In this README, we want to say important packages. Well, I'll just pip freeze it or whatever. Show you all the packages that are needed here. Packages, actually. Packages, Python packages. Pandas. Super important to learn. It's like Excel for Python. Okay, backtesting.py. This is how I backtest. Let's go to the data, Yahoo Finance, Y-Finance. This is where we get free daily data. Perfect. Okay, let's go through this code so you see it all. Because if you can see it all, you can be it all. And I believe in you, dude. So you can see I'll save directory here. So I need a data folder. And I actually might go ahead and change this to put this in the back test. Okay, let's make a data here. I'm a data dog and I know you are too. So let's get it, dude. Let's go ahead and paste this in here. Let's just put it in here in general. Okay, backtest data. Okay, now you can see the rest of the code. Let me go through it so you understand it all. Just some logging setup here. And then this is the symbols we want to get data for. Maybe I'll get it for Amazon as well. I usually trade crypto, but a market is a market in my opinion. And whether you trade crypto, stocks, futures, whatever, at the end of the day, these charts are too emotional for people to trade by hand. And if you're trying to chase up or down, you will get smoked. At the end of the day, I truly believe the only way to trade is automated. So I'm going to show you everything here. Okay, first off, let's go ahead here and let's try to pull some data. You can see here, this is how I set up all these symbols. And then you see I can download and save daily data here. And this will allow me to get the actual data so you can see all the code. And I will push all this to GitHub as well. It's going to be free public GitHub. If OS path exists, file path, you can see we're reading in the data here. And then we set the end date to yesterday. Try to get all the data, daily data that we can. And then while attempts equals under max of 10 attempts and the current date is past the start date, we're going to keep it moving and we're going to grab all of the data here. Just so you can see this all, I want you to have access to all of the data for free from Yahoo Finance. If not, data.empty. This is the third part where we're processing and saving the data. And then we download and save it. So let's go ahead and see if this code works. So there's no module named Y Finance. Now I use Python, I use Anaconda, and I use 3.10.9, but that doesn't matter too much. All Python versions really work. If I run this again, I already have it installed. Attempting to download the data. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's see if I can get some daily data here. Fetching historical data. Perfect. From 2000, 2003, 2004, 2004. Okay, so it's getting a ton of data right now. I don't know how much I asked from it, but I asked for a lot, clearly. I think I'm going for all the data that they have. So let's see what it comes out with here. And then I want to show you, or I want to get a data set. I'm just going to add a data because I have so much data, dude, that I want to just add some data sets in here for you. And that will just be easy to do. So let's put the BTC 1 hour for 1,000 weeks. Okay, that's a lot of data, dude. Let's put the Sol 1 day for 1,000 weeks here. This actually didn't work here, so they may have changed their way to get data, unfortunately. We'll see. Let me go ahead and make sure that you have a source to get data. Here we go. You can get some hyperliquid data. This is super easy to get data. Let's call this data file. Let's change the data file to be hyperliquid data because then it's super easy to get and you don't even need an API key. You can see I can just get BTC data here. And you can see all this code. I'll scroll through it really quickly in case you don't want to get the GitHub.
I'm not afraid to die on a treadmill. You might have more talent than me, you might be smarter than me, but if we get on the treadmill together, right, there's two things. You're getting off first, or I'm going to die. It's really that simple.
All right, let's try this one out here. So we're fetching BTC data. There's no parent called this. Okay, let's use AI in order to fix this because, you know, that's what AI is here for. I know I can debug this easy, but I'd rather just have her do it. You can see I get an error here, but please go ahead and add it to this path here. So that's our data path, and I just needed to update the path. So make dir, okay, backtest data. That folder's already created, so you don't need to make that dir. Just update the code here in order to save it to that folder. Data.py, sometimes you have to tag it because it doesn't quite have it. So it's just going to update that code now in order to save it to the place that I wanted it to save to. And then I'm going to keep adding more data into here as well, so you have access to just some good data sets. Matter of fact, I think I have some data sets on the folder. Here you can see the 15-minute data just came through here for a couple months. Okay, that's nice. I got a couple months of data here on the 15-minute. I can change this data at any time. So now this is using Hyperliquid, which is a crypto exchange that I like to use. And yeah, they give free data, which is nice. Coinbase also gives free data. I could show you that some other time, but there's also plenty of data on the internet. So I just wanted to give you a few data sets here. If I go over to the roadmap, there's actually a few data sets on there as well. So Let's go to the crypto data section, and you can see 6 hours for 1,000 weeks. Let's get that one for sure. That's a nice big piece of data here. Let's go ahead and say download. Yes. And then let's get the ETH for 1,000 weeks as well. Download. Yes. And then let's get that's good for now. You can have the rest on the roadmap. It's there for free. So moondev.com. That's it, dude. Okay, let's go here and get those data paths in there, or those new data sets in there. Beautiful. Now you have a place to download data. No API keys needed. You can change this to be 1 day. It might be a capital D. We'll see. Okay, you can see I just got the 1 day. Perfect. So you have this new data source, and let's make sure to please push this full GitHub, the whole thing, to the GitHub, and make the note saying uploaded data and data sources, data.py. So I just want to push all of it to GitHub here so you have access to it all. Add backtest, thank you. Uploaded data and data sources of data.py. Beautiful. Git push origin main. Okay. Successfully pushed all the data. Okay, so now you know how to research and come up with ideas. You know how to research. You can come up with unlimited ideas now. Now you also know how to get data so you can backtest it. And you have this backtest library here that shows you how, or this backtest code that shows you how to backtest. So now, ideally, you know how to code because you've watched CS50. You know how to get data. And now you have a template piece of code here that shows you how to backtest. So you pretty much have everything you need to do the R and the B. And that's the most important part. The R and the B, the research and the backtest. So you can see research backtest here. And we added a couple of things here to the research section. You can see, okay, research, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Life is beautiful. Backtest here, you can see the full backtest section here. Backtesting is a crucial part. Okay, great. And then you also have this data.py. You can go ahead and get data here from Hyperliquid for free. That's crazy, dude. So I'm going to show you everything. Remember, research, backtest, and then implement. Okay, sick. So you got the backtest data. Now we're going to go over the template. How do you actually backtest? How do you come up with, well, you already know how to come up with ideas, but let's say we came up with an idea. Let's go ahead here and quickly see if there's an idea that we can look at. Okay, how about this Bollinger Band breakout? Okay, sweet. Let's go ahead, and that's the idea. You can see Bollinger Band breakout short here. Well, I want to go ahead and make a Bollinger Band squeeze breakout here. So what I would do here is say backtest BB squeeze with the VWAP. Not VWAP. I'm not going to do the VWAP. I just get excited. I like to use the VWAP. I like to use VWAP. Let's say BB squeeze 80x. It's just a random idea. It doesn't matter if it works or not. I just want to show you this. I also want to tell you this. It's one time somebody came to me and they said, dude, I don't think algorithmic trading works. I tried 10 different ideas and only one of them worked. And I said, dude, great job. Because that's a 10% hit rate. 10% hit rate is nice in algorithmic trading. You have to get through your losers in order to find winners, and just be happy every time you get through a losing backtest, because you know there's thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people that are trading that exact strategy that you just backtested. And now you have a secret power. You know that that strategy does not work in the past, while all of these other thousands of people, they are continuing to trade that strategy. They're trading a strategy that doesn't work on top of a philosophy that doesn't work. They're trading a strategy that you just back tested and you know it does not work in the past. And they're trading it by hand. Maybe they are the best, the most self-aware person in the world, and they're a good trader by hand. They don't have any bad days. They don't get emotional. They don't sleep too little. Maybe they're the best in the world, but you know their strategy doesn't work. And you also know that trading by hand doesn't work because one day you won't get enough sleep. One day you'll get on tilt because of a conversation. One day someone's going to convince you on Twitter to go long or short. One day you'll use too much leverage. These are just the common things that traders fall into, and they think, oh yeah, I can trade this by hand. No, you can't. So every time you find a losing backtest, be happy because you know somebody else is trading that strategy and you don't have to even look at it anymore. So that dude that told me 1 out of 10, I said, good job, keep going, bro. That's a good hit rate. 1 out of 10. So reset your expectations. This is not going to be easy, but it's the biggest reward in the world. If this guy ran up a net worth of 31 billion, do you think it's going to be easy? No way. But trading by hand is not easy. Wasting your time is not easy. Looking at these charts is not easy. So I'm going to show you the better way. Okay, it's the R and the B, R and the B. Let's figure out what works, what doesn't work. A lot's not going to work. Let's look through the trash. Let's find the good pieces. Let's build our own edges. I'm never going to show you something that just makes you a bunch of money, because if I show you, I'm showing everybody else, dude. And that's going to be gone. The edge is going to be obsolete. But there are plenty of anomalies that are in the market, and Jim Simon says that every single day to us. He says there are infinite anomalies in the market. You just have to keep making your systems better and better and better. So this is an iterative game. This game will never stop. It's probably the hardest game you've ever played, but again, it's the biggest reward. So the RBI system is how I follow and continue to play this game. So how would I go ahead and backtest this new idea? Let's say that I came up with this idea from one of these sources. Maybe I was listening to Chat with Traders and I heard a trader talk about this Bollinger Band squeeze ADX strategy. Okay, let's see if it actually works. Or I was reading Market Wizards.
Living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. Stay hungry, stay foolish.
Maybe I was reading the Market Wizards books and I came up with an idea because this guy was trading a style I thought was cool. I was watching a YouTube video or I was reading one of these books. Generate ideas. Generate ideas you think that might work. And if you think they might work, okay, this is how you backtest them. Let's go ahead and say I here. Let's make a new one here. And I'm going to tag my template. Tag the template because the template has been set out in order to work and build backtests easier. So again, this took me years to build, so you have it for free. Please use the template above in order to see how to set up a backtest. And let's also give it the data. Let's go to copy path here. I just want to make sure that it has my actual path for the data because I'm a data dog. Data path here. Okay. I'm going to put it in right there. Okay, there it is. And, okay, please use that template. Okay, BB squeeze. I want you then to go ahead and build a trading strategy that uses a Bollinger Band squeeze breakout type strategy and include the ADX in that strategy as well. Please make sure to print out the backtest stats of the original. Print them in full. No need to print the plot. And then after printing out the regular stats, then you can go ahead and start optimizing. So essentially, I'll be able to see the stats first, and then you can start optimizing, as that will take a little bit longer, and then print out those stats as well. Use the template in order to see how to do this. I'll create a Bollinger Band squeeze breakout strategy with ADX for you. using the template as a guide. Now I'll create a new file. Hey. Build here. Build here, bro. All right, so you can see the AI is creating all this code for me based off of my template. I gave you the template so you have it. Okay, so you can see here, I say accept here, and then let's try to run it. Let's get the error back here if there is one. Yes. Mismatch. New values have 6 elements. Okay, let's say here I got this bug here, and you can see my data head here. So let's give it the data head because the elements will sometimes be off, you know? So essentially it says there's 6 columns, but my template had 6 columns because my other data has the comma at the end. It's okay. It's super easy to fix. Just tell the AI what your problem is and just keep iterating, making things better and better and better. I see the issue. The CS50 file has 5 columns, but our code is trying to rename to 6 columns. So let's go ahead and fix that. You can see we're using the Bollinger Band window of 20, the BB standard deviation of 2, the Keltner window of 20, the Keltner ATR multiple of 1.5, the ADX period, the ADX threshold, the take profit, the stop loss here. Let's go ahead and say accept. And then let's go ahead and run it back and see what the next error is. Okay, there's no new error. Perfect. We don't need to print all these. Please don't print all these debugs. Please don't print all these debugs. It makes it really hard for me to see the first output. Just show me the first stats and then move on to the optimizing, but no need to print out all the debugging output. Thank you. I'll modify the code to remove the debug prints. Thank you. BB squeeze ADX. Okay, let's go ahead and say accept though. And then we can run this here and see what happens. Okay, there we go. There's our back test. Now, some things that we want to look at on the back test here. You can see the profit factor is 1.08. The expectancy is 0.15. I like to look for an expectancy over 0.2. You can see it's optimizing. It's going to take a while to optimize. There's 342 different things it needs to optimize. Now, be careful when it comes to optimizing and overfitting. Please explain to me the problem with over optimizing and overfitting trading strategies and how to not over optimize. So let's have her explain it to us, but let's also look at some of these stats here. This is just a random strategy that I just picked out of thin air. You will have a much better strategy if you actually go out and research like I showed you, but you can see the exposure time. This is what I like to look at. I like to look at the return percentage, of course, versus the buy and hold. You can't go back and buy and hold from 2015 of BTC. So just throw this out the window. Okay? You can't go back in time. This number does not matter too much. Of course, if you just went back and held BTC for 10 years, but you can't do that. So I rather look at the return percentage, of course, 22%. Okay, the return versus the drawdown. How much does it draw down? Well, if you held bought and hold Bitcoin, you would have drawn down like 90%. What is a drawdown? It's how much money you essentially get down. If you're holding, say, $100,000 and it goes down to 30,000, well, that's a 70% drawdown. Okay, the Sharpe ratio here, I like to look for things that are above a 1.5, 1.2. Shortino ratio is similar to the Sharpe ratio, but it doesn't penalize the upside, so it's much better here for crypto. The Kalmar ratio, I believe this is the return divided by the drawdown. So like I look at the return and the drawdown, the Kalmar kind of represents that, I believe. Max drawdown here, average drawdown, the number of trades, you can see it traded 217 times. The win percentage is 42%. Okay, well, profit factor 1.08. I like to see that higher. I like to see the expectancy higher. You can see this is going to take forever to optimize. I'm going to make it a little faster because at the end of the day, we don't want to over optimize, and I'll tell you why here in a second. Let's make this 15. Let's change this to 2.1. Let's change this to 20. And again, this is optimizing to find the best value, and that's a little sketch sometimes. Stop loss here, 3 to 4, 2 to 4. This is still going to take forever. There's too many things we're optimizing here. So what I would do is try to find a couple things to optimize for. Anyways, let's read through what she had to say, because overfitting is something you will hear all the time. Overfitting is trading strategy optimization is a significant risk that can lead to poor real-world performance. Here's a concise explanation. Problems with overfitting trading strategies: false confidence. An overfitted strategy performs exceptionally well on historical data, but fails in live trading. Curve fitting. The optimization process discovers patterns that are random noise rather than genuine market edges. Parameter sensitivity. Highly optimized strategies often perform dramatically differently with slight parameter changes. Historical accidents. The strategy may be optimized to specific market events that won't repeat. How to avoid overfitting. Use walk forward testing. Train on one period, test on a subsequent out of sample period. This is like testing on 5 years of data and seeing if the strategy works, and then later testing to see if that strategy works on a different set of data. Limit parameters, which we definitely didn't just do here. We just upped the parameters. The more parameters you use to optimize, the higher the risk of overfitting. Keep your strategy simple. So you can see there's a ton of parameters here, a ton of different things that it can optimize for and base the signals off of. Meaning we have a lot of parameters, meaning sometimes the most simple strategy works better. So be careful of that. Use broader parameter ranges. Instead of fine-tuning, testing ADX from 24 to 26, use wider steps. Cross-validate across assets. A truly robust strategy should work reasonably well across multiple similar instruments.
Is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft.
Check parameter stability. If small changes in parameters cause dramatic performance shifts, the strategy is likely overfitted. Focus on robustness metrics. Beyond raw returns, examine metrics like Sharpe ratio, max drawdown, and win rate consistency. Test on different market regimes. Ensure your strategy works in trending markets, ranging, and volatile markets. Incorporate transaction costs. Many seemingly profitable strategies disappear once realistic fees and slippage are included. So make sure that there are fees and slippage included. Let's go check that out. I know that in the template we put fees in there. Fees are important because if this trades 500 times, that's 500 opens and closes that you have to have a fee on. The fee is typically 0.001%. I put it at 0.002 just so I can see something with higher fees, because it will account a little bit for the slippage. Slippage is the price you pay versus the price they said you were going to pay. Essentially, sometimes you're trading too big a size and you have to pay a little bit more. Let's check out what this optimization looks like. Okay, so you can see here that the profit factor is a bit higher. Okay, that's good. The expectancy is 0.23. It's better than my 0.2 that I would like. Perfect. So 0.2 is what I wanted. You can see here the exposure time is 21% and the return is 112 or 122%. Again, you can't go back in time and buy Bitcoin in 10 years ago, so no reason to even look at this. Look at this return, 122% versus the drawdown, 30%. Look at the exposure time. Okay, it's holding it for 20% of the time, a fifth of the time. That's great. because it's not always in a trade. And then you have less black swan risk. Please go ahead and explain to me. Please go ahead and explain to me what black swan risk is. Also, explain to me how having a lower exposure time may help with this black swan risk. Okay, let's just ask her that. Okay, you can see the win rate is much better here. It's 57.3 versus the one above that was 40%. But remember, overfitting. You don't want to optimize too much now. So I showed you a pretty optimized, not like extremely optimized, but it's pretty optimized. It looks better, of course, but remember, overfitting. Okay, black swan risk in trading. Black swan risk refers to rare, unexpected events that have extreme impact or are rationalized after the fact. In trading, these are sudden market shocks that are statistically outliers, nearly impossible to predict, cause catastrophic losses due to extreme price movements, often occur during what appears to be normal market conditions. Examples include the 2008 financial crisis, the 2020 virus crash, the 2010 flash crash, and there's going to be more. These are just things that happen. How lower exposure time mitigates black swan risk. Lower exposure time, less time with active positions in the market, helps protect against black swan risk in several ways. There's a statistical advantage. The less time you're in the market, the lower the probability of being caught in a black swan event. Overnight protection. Many extreme events occur during off hours or when liquidity is thin. Short-term strategies that close positions at the end of sessions avoid overnight gap risks. Reduce correlation exposure. During black swan events, typical correlations break down and many assets move together in the panic. Less time in the market reduces exposure to these correlation breakdowns. Capital preservation. With lower exposure time, more capital remains in cash or low risk assets, providing a buffer against extreme drawdowns. Reduce leverage impact. Strategies with lower exposure time often use less leverage, reducing the amplification of losses during black swan events. So there you go. That's the R and the B, research and backtest, research and backtest. You saw how I did the R and the B here. The implementation of the actual bot must be earned. The first step is to research. The second step is to backtest. There's no reason to spend any money here on any market or any trade until you find things that actually work in the past. If you feel that you have earned it, you feel that you have ideas that look good in the past, okay, then move to implementation. How do I implement into a bot? Well, implementing it into a bot, you would have to use an exchange. But again, let me warn you here. This is when real money comes to play, and you don't want to risk your real money unless you have something that actually works in the past. So you can see this BB squeeze. It looks like it works in the past, but there's a big caveat. It may have been over optimized. I did not look into other types of time frames to trade this on. I did not look into other assets. I just want to show you the example of the full RBI system. But just know that this is usually elongated, meaning longer. This is usually longer because I'm spending more time researching and backtesting. I'm backtesting. I'm walking my dog, researching, listening to Audible, listening to podcasts. It's more time. I'm trying to make this fast just for this class, dude. So I'm showing you step by step the RBI, but again, it's going to be longer than this when you do it because I got lucky here and I found one that worked right away. Okay, great. A BB squeeze ADX. Please go ahead and push this full GitHub to GitHub and have the note be new backtest uploaded. Okay, so all of this is on the GitHub, or it should be here in a second. Let's say accept, 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 Git push. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So what else do we want to do here, dude? The next step would to be build this algorithm out. And how will we do that? Well, we'll go to the bot.py. We need to have a .env. Let's make a .env. This is where I'm going to store my keys. And then also let's duplicate this. Rename .env example. Okay, so I'm going to put a .env in here and a .env example. Now this is going to store your keys. Don't share this with anybody, not even me. Okay, this is what the example is going to look like. And then this is not financial advice. Okay, perfect, perfect. You can see the example. This is what the .env looks like. Let's make a git ignore here. Git ignore will allow me to never show you that code on the GitHub. .git ignore .env. Not the example though. Save. All right, you can see it just got dark. Perfect. Okay, so you see the .env example. What am I putting in there? The Hyperliquid key. You can use any exchange you want. This is the exchange that I'm using, Hyperliquid. At the end of the day, all of these exchanges are trading against you. They're not on your team. Don't think they're on your team. Be careful. There has been things that happened in the past, like FTX, where an exchange ended up being a scam. I don't trust any exchange. I am here to just extract alpha by trading on the exchange. And you have to be careful. Just be careful, be careful, be careful. Don't trust anybody. Don't trust any of these exchanges. Okay, bot.py. So the first thing we'll need to do here is build out this strategy. So let's give it an example here. I have like some example code. Above is an example bot that I want you to follow in order to build out this
Your time is limited.
BB squeeze
so don't
ADX
waste it
strategy that
living
we just
someone
back
else's
tested.
life.
BB ADX squeeze. So essentially use the code as a guide. You know, there's a MoonDev API that you won't need to use. There's a lot of things you won't need to use in the above. Assume that we have nice funcs already in our folder structure. So whenever it calls n dot, we'll use nice funcs. I'll build that out as we build. But yeah, just build out this backtested strategy into this file here called bot.py. And use the above as a template, and also use this screenshot of my checklist to make sure all of these things are implemented. Like for example, the risk control is P&L close, and so on and so on. So just look through the checklist, look through the above code, and build out this bot of the BB squeeze that we backtested into bot.py here. Build here at bot.py. Okay, and then also I have this again on the RBI system that's on the roadmap, moondev.com. It's free. I have this checklist here. Implement into a bot with tiny size, and that's a key because you don't want to trade anything that, even if it worked in the past, you don't want to use big size unless it actually continues to work in the future. It's not guaranteed to work in the future. It's not guaranteed. It's just more likely. And this is a probabilities game. The probabilities game you are playing here today. Okay, so let me go ahead and paste that in here. And then we're going to go ahead and send it in and see what she can do. So I'm using AI. This is how you use AI in trading right now. Yes, I have agents running down in the bottom left. You've seen that the entire time. I'll get to that some other day. If you want a second class on this, just say class 2, class 2. Give me class 2 in the comment section below. Say class 2. I'm going to give you the short, concise version of the RBI system. I can sit here all day and I teach you everything. I teach you everything in the boot camp. I try to teach you a lot on the roadmap. This is the boot camp. There's been hundreds, if not thousands. Actually, there's been thousands of people that have gone through this, and we have hundreds of reviews. You can Google it. It's Algo Trade Camp. There's 100% money back guarantee. No questions asked. I teach you everything step by step, and I hold your hand through this process because I know nobody else in the world is sharing this information. So I thought, hey, I have to do this anyways. I'm chasing this guy right here, and $31 billion is enough for me. I would take 1/30th of that. So that means 29, 30 other people can get down on their own billion. It's going to be a hard game. It's going to be a long game. He died at 86 and he did this until he died. I'm 35. I didn't learn how to code until I was 30. You can do anything, dude. I've implemented the BB Squeeze 80X trading bot based on your backtest strategy and checklist. The bot includes risk controls. We implemented the N.PNL close. Perfect. Strategy implementation. Use the Bollinger Bands plus Keltner channel squeeze detection with 80X confirmation for strength. Position entry checks, verifies no existing positions before entering a new position. Perfect. Order cancellation, cancels all orders before opening new ones. Perfect. Cancel all orders. Decimal handling. So I've done all this. I've worked all this out for you, dude. So I'm trying to make this truncated, short, concise class. If you've completed Harvard's CS50, you should be right with me here. You have all the tools that I have. Order type choice, scheduling, debug statements, perfect. The bot follows your trading checklist exactly. It checks for a position before entering. It cancels all positions, all open orders before opening a new one. Uses proper decimal adjustments for size and price. Uses limit orders, which are configurable. Runs on a schedule every minute. Debugging is easy with colorful outputs. Thank you. The strategy matches your backtest. BB window, BB standard deviation, Keltner window, Keltner ATR, multiple 80X. Perfect. Let's go ahead and say accept. Now there's going to be some debugging here, and I also need to get one more file in there because I want you to have everything I have. Nicefuncs.py. This is where I put my nice functions, if you couldn't tell. You can see I'm using my Git hyper liquid key here, Git OS. Perfect. And we're bringing in some fun code to keep it fun because anything you can have fun with, you can do forever. If you thoroughly have fun finding new ideas, digging for gold, chasing a big dream like this, dude, then you can code forever. Me, I love it here. Use market orders. I set it to false for now. You can see I initialized the account here. The squeeze flag is false. Squeeze release false. Print the banner, and then we fetch the data. So interval 6 hours. Okay. Then we fetch the candlesticks, the data here. Fetch open, high, low, close, volume. This actually isn't going to work with 6 hour because Hyperliquid has 4 hours instead of 6 hour data. So you'll have to go back and back test the 4 hour data, dude. Of course, I'm not going to show you everything and do all the tweaking and testing here with you, but we back tested it on the 6 hour data. Now this bot has it on the 4 hour data. So right there, I'm not following my back test. So of course, don't run anything like this. I want to get the templates up for you because I'm never going to just give you a boatload of fish. I want you to learn this process. I'm a professor. I want you to understand everything I know so you can take this much, much further than me. My bet is, yes, I can continue to do this for the rest of my life, and I will. But my bet is if I get 1,000 people also doing this with me, against me, versus me, however you want to think of it, scarcity or abundance. I think we're all doing this together. I bet on 1,000 of you guys over one of me, and that's all I'm doing, dude. I will show you everything every single day. I go live every day and I show you everything. Calculate indicators here. This is how we're going to calculate the indicators. You can see I'm using TA-lib. That's a package that we need to add to our Python packages. TA-lib indicators for finance. Perfect. Let's go back to the bot.py. You can see TA-lib. We're using TA-lib. Great. We analyze the markets here. We're looking for the squeeze released here. Checking if it's an actual squeeze like our back test. And then we're looking at the ADX just like we did in our back test. Now there's going to be debugging that needs to be done, but I want to get these templates up for you so you can do anything. You can see this is the bot section here, and we check to see if I'm in a position first. I need to get the position. So how do we get the position? Well, I have all those functions here for you. So let's say get position. And let's just put that function in there to start in the nice funcs. I want you to have everything I have access to. Okay, nice funcs here, dude. Let's go ahead and paste it in. What else do we need from this here? Well, we need the info content, info. We need to make a bunch of imports here. So let's go ahead and import all of this. There we go. And now this should work. Perfect. Let's see if there's anything else in here that we use. No. Okay, perfect. So let's keep going through the bot section to see what other nice funcs we need. You can see n.getPosition is now here. Did we import nice funcs as n? I don't think so. Let's say import nice funcs as n. By the way, I don't know if you saw that CCXT pop up, but CCXT allows you to connect to any exchange in the world. So I have plenty of tutorials showing CCXT here, and this connects to all the exchanges you could ever want to connect to. I just use Hyperliquid because it's somewhat decentralized, but if you want to connect to Binance, Coinbase, KuCoin, Kraken, whatever, you can connect to all of those using CCXT. Okay, so let me go ahead and put that on the README as well. CCXT, if you want to connect to other exchanges other than Hyperliquid. Perfect. So everything I have, you have. Okay, nice funcs here. Let's go back to the bot because now I have it implemented. The nice funcs are where I put my nice funcs. It's right in the word. N.getPosition. Perfect. Okay, let's see what else there is. Fetch K lines. Let's go up to fetch K lines because I believe this uses. No, it doesn't. N.fetch open high low close.
That said rest at the end, not in the middle. And that's something I always live by. You know, I'm not going to rest. I'm going to keep on pushing now. There are a lot of answers that I don't have, even questions that I don't have. But I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going, and I'll figure these things out as we go, right? And you just continue to build that way. So I try to live by that all the time.
Rest at the end.
Rest at the end.
Okay, so that was actually, I changed it to get open. Actually, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it, dude. That's not it. Let's find the, here we go. Get open high low close volume 2 is actually going to be called. You can see this is using Kraken, but we don't want to use Kraken. We want to get it Kraken, but we don't want to use Kraken. Okay, let's say get open high low close volume 2. No way. I want to save this. Cancel. So you can see here when I get the data, I'm putting it right somewhere around here, right there. Get open high low close volume 2. Now we get it. PD.toDate time. Okay, perfect. I just want to look for any nice funcs that we have here because I need to make sure that you have all access to the nice funcs. All the nice funcs, dude, because that's the one piece you don't have. I don't need to go through all this code simply because you see it all on GitHub. You got it all on GitHub now, dude. So n.askBid. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get that ask bid here. And you'll have that code as well, because the ask bid is used over and over and over again. And sometimes you might want level 2 data or things like that. Level 2 data shows you all the asks and the bids that have not been filled. You can see you can get the ask on the ask and the bid, but you can also get a few higher. So this is a huge function that you will love, love, love. And I want to make sure that you have everything I have. Adjust leverage in USDC size. Okay, this is another one that's a little tricky to build, but I want to make sure that you have it all. And if you have it all, you can be it all. And even if you don't have it all, you can still be it all. I believe in you so, so much. That's why I'm taking my time out of today and making this step-by-step tutorial, because I want you to succeed, dude. Get SZ size and pixels. This is another tricky one, dude. So let me just get you that code right now. Okay, so here we go. Let's go pull it all in here. And you can see, okay, get decimals. Let's put it in there. Okay, there it is. You can see that's a nice funky funk right there. And you have all the code that I have. Market order, you need the market and you need the limit order. I'm gonna go ahead and actually just say limit order if long. I just want limits, so I'm gonna delete this. I just want the limit order here for both of these. Sorry, not sorry. I'm just gonna put the limits in. The limit order is just a better way, in my opinion. So here's the limit order here. Let's put it in the nice funks. So now you have a way to put in orders as well. That's crazy, dude. This is all free because I believe in you. Let's go. Let's go. Lock in every single day. I'll lock in too. I'll just keep building. I build everything here live, free on YouTube, because I believe code is the great equalizer. I believe if you see everything I see, you can be way, way more than me. I showed you all of the code here, dude. Here, let's do a quick little walkthrough of this full system. Remember, the full system is lit right here. Okay, it's written right here. It's the research, backtest, and implementation. Welcome to the Harvard Algorithmic Trading with AI repository. This is an open source project. Teaches you how to become an algorithmic trader by following a systematic approach to automating trading strategies. Most people face poor judgment, high emotions, wasting of time with little profit. So I propose a different system to approaching trading. Do not trade until you have researched and you've back tested enough to find things that actually work in the past, and then have those things that work in the past run with a robot. Do not let your emotions get in the way. Don't crank up that leverage. Don't stare at that chart. None of that. Stare at this code. This repo has everything in it. The full RBI system. I showed you all of the places in order to research. I showed you how to use AI encoding to build trading bots. I showed you everything. The prerequisite to this is Harvard's CS50. Go watch that. The introduction to computer science. If you understand that, you will understand everything. These are some Python packages that are super important to know. Learn pandas, dude, right now. Thank you. Backtesting.py is how I backtest. Why finance is where you get free daily data, TA lib, indicators for finance, CCXT if you want to connect to other exchanges. Okay, so I made 3 different folders here. The R is where we start. This shows you all of the places that you can go ahead and come up with unlimited strategies. Those strategies then can tee off an idea that will allow you to then see if, hey, did this work in the past? You use a backtest. We'll get to that here in a second. But here's a list of great books that you can pull unlimited ideas out of. And then the Chat with Traders podcast and the Market Wizards books, dude, there's unlimited ideas. Okay, that's all in the research folder here. Okay, then we have the backtest folder here. Here's some sample data I put in there for you so you can have it. And then I also gave you the Hyperliquid data source here where you can pull a couple months of data for free without any API keys. The README will show you all about backtesting. And then the implementation. I put my bot.py. You can say this is a template. I did not do the debugging yet because I don't want to I don't want you to focus on the bot until you go ahead and you do the backtesting and research. Once you have the research and backtesting, this is a full template of a bot here. And I included my nice funks that took me years and years to build. So you have everything that I've spent multiple years on. You know my entire system. It all comes down to the R, the B, and the I, RBI system here. This is all free on moondev.com. This explains the full system. It answers a bunch of questions. There's a roadmap, there's resources, a Discord community, frequently asked questions. Everything I can give you, I try to give you here, dude. And if you need more, of course, I have the boot camp, and that's 100% money back guarantee forever. So it's actually 90-day money back guarantee. You should be able to make a decision by then. If you want to join that, please feel free to. I made it very inexpensive because I don't want you to waste any more money. You have the bot, you've got the nice funks. Let me go ahead and make sure all of this GitHub is added to the GitHub. Git add dot git commit all the code for Harvard Algorithmic Trading class. So you can see I have my .env example, my ignore, my bot.py, and then I'm going to say git push, and this is now finished. You have all of the code on GitHub. Let's go ahead here to Harvard Algorithmic Trading with AI, and you can see you have the research, the backtest, and the implement. So implement is where the bot and the nice funks are. You understand everything. If you did not take Harvard CS50 yet, please go back and watch Harvard CS50 and then come back to this training here, and this will all make sense. The GitHub's here, it's public. You can probably just Google it. From here, it's on you to research, come up with ideas. There are so many ideas. You can see I didn't even get to my AI agents yet. If you want to see something like that, say AI agent class below. Let me know below. Say AI agent class. If you want to see how to use liquidation data is when people get liquidated. And I showed you this at the start of today. I can see when other people are going to get liquidated. I can see exactly how far away until they get liquidated. And that's insane. It's all about coming up with alpha that works for you. These different data sources I have are my secret alpha sources, and they're not so secret. I just found them. I came up with the ideas, and then I looked for them, and then I built it, and then I built it into my bots. One way to get a competitive edge on everybody else is using data that not everybody else has. So all this data you've seen on my screen today, not everybody has access to this. So while 99% of people are trading by hand, I'm making a moat around my business by never trading by hand. Okay, those that don't trade by hand, do they have custom data and secret data sources? Probably not. Okay, so 99% of people that don't trade by hand, they don't have their secret data sources. Okay, I got my own custom data sources. Okay, more separation. And this is all about making your systems better and better and better, and creating more and more separation between your competition. Those who keep going and keep swimming will always win, no matter what they do in this world. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. And if you can't walk, then crawl. But by all means, just keep going. That's what Martin Luther King Jr. says to me every single day, while Jim Simon says, keep making your systems better and better. Kobe says, the contract's already been signed. Mike says, discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it.
Make a choice, right? You just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide. And then from that point, the universe is going to get out your way. It's like it's water. It wants to move and go around stuff, you know.
It's water.